invite our athletic director, Ms. Dukalaki, to come forward. I apologize for the mispronunciation.
No problem, Dugalecki. It's not an easy one.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me and providing me the opportunity to give you an update on the athletic department and the different things going on within our programs. On average, we service about 350 athletes for about 15 to 20 hours a week, so it's a substantial amount of time that we're spending with them. And our focus in the last year and a half has really been to make it an educational athletics program that focuses beyond the playing field, beyond sport-specific skills, and beyond the wins and losses. There was a report that came out, actually. It was very interesting. It stated that 95% of the Fortune 500 executives were high school athletes. And at the same time, less than 8% played the collegiate level. So I share this information with the student athletes at the beginning of the year to drive home the point that, if less than 8% of you are going to be playing your sport beyond high school, but then 95% of these very successful executives were high school athletes, there's something bigger than just your records that you're going to get out of your time here at Arlington High School. So that's our focus at the beginning of the year, and we have different programs in place to really drive that home for the athletes. And our main priority is to translate what they learn, whether it's overcoming adversity, resiliency, communication, advocacy, teamwork, to translate all of those, whether it's through victory or through defeat, through difficult practice, through a day that maybe was easier than they expected it to be, or our common theme that we often talk about is athletes adjust. We talk about how you never know if a bus is going to be late, you have to adjust. The weather's unpredictable, you're going to have to adjust better than your opponents. So all these different themes we kind of weave together in different programs that we have in the athletic department. And I provided some handouts for you to look at. The first page just has the homepage of our athletics website, which is copied right on there, which just talks about our mission, the core values, which mirror the I Care values of the Arlington Public Schools, and our philosophy, which echoes the life experiences, and then some of the developments that we've put into place over the last year and a half. And some of the highlights from my end have been the Coaches Advisory, which is a group of coaches at any level. They have volunteered their time to meet monthly, where we assess different practices. They talk about best practices, what works, and what we can do to improve the department. Captain's Council, which meets weekly before school, and the students come in and we address different issues in the athletic department and really talk about what it means to be a leader. I think leadership is often, it's forgotten that it's a skill. It's not just being the most popular person on the team. It's not being the best player on the team. It's actually a skill that has to be evaluated and developed, and teaching them that there are different leadership styles and that they need to embrace and understand their own leadership style to be successful with it. We focus a lot on goal setting in that realm as well. Another highlight has been using athletics as a means to build spirit, and that's in partnership with the school, the different groups within the school. Specifically, we've worked a lot with the Student Council. We've implemented Spirit Week and Pep Rally with them. Also working with different programs within the town. Tomorrow, we've partnered with the Youth Outreach program to have a special event at our basketball games. We do a lot with we had the Cub Scouts in a couple of weeks ago. Last night, we had a fourth grade team playing at the halftime of our basketball game. We've done a lot with the middle school program, so really kind of reaching out to the community through our athletic programs. And then another highlight has been implementing a handbook and evaluations and just really standardizing and making clear our expectations. And the evaluations, we have a few different ones in our department. There's a coach's evaluation, which I complete. There's a captain's evaluation where the captains complete that, and it's feedback on their coaches as well as the department and captain's council. And then there's an evaluation available to all athletes to complete at the end of the season, which talks about their experience in the athletic department as well. So we're constantly collecting feedback and really evaluating what works well and where we can continue to improve. And Karen, I didn't know, is the website, are we able to pull that up? Sure, if possible. Real quickly, before, open up for questions, I'd like to show you the website. It has a lot of our information accessible on it.
Karen, you're gonna need to turn the mic to her. Please. Shut the lights down.
You guys
Right.
see?
Well, maybe we'll turn, yeah, Karen's gonna turn
Turn
the
at
lights.
least half the lights on. One more.
Too much.
Does that work?
Can you get?
The other set,
Yeah,
that's better.
That's
That's
better.
better, thank you.
Great. So if you're on the district homepage and you click on the high school, from here you can click on the athletics link. And we've redesigned the athletics website. As you can see, this is the page that you received a copy of. Has our contact information. Here we seasonally work with a vendor where you can buy gear. They open the store for about 3 weeks at a time. Field Locations has our field locations throughout Arlington and throughout the league. The policies page has a link to our handbook, as well as the MIA handbook and the concussion course that's required. Coaches lists all of the varsity coaches by season and their contact information. The schedules are available on the schedule page. You can see today was
That's
quiet day. Offerings has the different sports that we offer, and if teams have their own specific website, they're linked. So if I click on cross-country, it'll take me to their individual website.
Is that website, do we control that website?
We monitor it, and it's under the guise and the expectations of being compliant with Arlington High School, policies. It's really, all the websites are used to share information for practices, dinners, and those types of things.
But as you said, we monitor it and it has to comply with our,
Yes.
Thank you.
It does. This is a little bit of the Arlington history. Coach Ed Burns, who I've learned is quite the legend here. And then the first page here is the news and info, which is a neat page where you can get a nice snapshot of what's going on in the department. This was Coach Missouri with the Cub Scouts in the locker room. This was last night, fourth grade team playing basketball at halftime. We had some captains down at the middle school during lunch. Events going on. This is an article linking to our all scholastic athletes named, different articles in the Globe, trainings. This is one of our athletes right now, Miles Robinson. He was featured in the Globe for the number of slam dunks he's achieved so far this year. So if you click on here, you'll see that's a goal-setting training at the MIAA. This is what Captain's Council looks like when the kids are working on Tuesday mornings. So it's just a nice place for people to access information and see what's going on within the department. And the last place that they can receive that information is through Twitter, which is mostly just score updates. But that's linked to here as well, right on the top of the page.
any members have any questions? I have a couple, and,
Sure.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I read with a great interest the evaluation you do on the coaches. That's a new practice in our town?
Yes.
And how's that working out?
It's going really well. It's an evaluation that takes into account the different, benchmarks that we look at. So it'll have communication and organization as certain areas that are evaluated, as well as sportsmanship and having organized, challenging practices. So there are a bunch of different areas with a rubric, an area for comments, and then with each coach at the end of the season, we either come up with an improvement plan or set a goal that they would like.
So there's a rubric that says what exemplary,
Yes,
you said, so that's not on this, but that you have a rubric when you do the evaluation.
correct. So at the conclusion of the evaluation, there are 3 different standards where they would rank, and then within that determines the next step.
And the athletes get to comment their coaches as well. I saw that in the
They do, yep.
do an
All of the
evaluation, rather.
feedback from the athletes is incorporated into the evaluation. And the captain's evaluation is pretty thorough on the department as well as their coaches.
Good, thank you.
I was looking at I assume that page that has the monetary, those are the fees that we charge?
Yes,
Gymnastics is second highest. It's
Correct.
higher than football.
yes.
Why? And I don't know whether that belongs to you or to,
Yeah, believe it or not, and Diane can speak to this probably with more detail, but my understanding, Diane, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is when they reestablished the fees a few years back, they actually sat down and broke out the cost of every sport and did the fee, so it's proportional to that. No fee for any of our sports covers
I
the
understand
entire.
that. I mean,
Gymnastics actually is
more expensive than football.
the equipment, the ratio of coaches to players required for safety. We have about 10 players, we have 2 coaches, and that's required for safety and transportation. Yeah, it really is. I was surprised as well.
It just struck me, that I know how expensive football is. And
Right.
to find out that, and I know hockey is even more expensive,
Right.
but
Yeah.
Bill, did you want to try out for gymnastics?
I know it's not supposed to be a contact sport, that I do know, and
Yeah.
that made me a little bit nervous. As far as the fundraising, the non-booster money that's raised and stuff,
Yeah.
does that come into the general fund? And it doesn't.
You mean for the teams that have their boosters?
No. Boosters, I understand, they're a private entity, they're separate.
Right.
But I thought there was 2 different ways of raising money.
A thing that could be a little awkward about how you're phrasing that is that the general fund, as the town knows it, is our appropriation from town meeting. The general fund, as the high school refers to it, is their checking account, and this creates no end of confusion. Students who raise money for an event, say they throw a car wash or something,
Right.
that money would go into the high school checking account for their use, for their own benefit. And it gets confusing because of the term general fund. It's not the general fund. The general fund is a town appropriation.
And I'll stand corrected, but my understanding, any money raised by the school department, this is being raised by the school department.
It's being raised by students for students. It doesn't pass through the school department. It falls under the student activities account
Okay,
exemption of the law.
Then let me ask this. How much accountability do we have with this money? I'm not suggesting anyone is cheating or
No,
absconding with money.
it's very
Do
clear
you see
that,
the amount of money?
I don't disperse the funds, but my office reviews the disbursements, and the comptroller reviews them before more funds are put back into the high school checking account.
So,
And we're
okay.
having an audit this June,
Okay.
and it has been audited since I've been here, so.
And I would like to commend you with a statement that something has to go out, because there's been a concern in the past, I think it's gone for the most part, where we've had people standing outside the stores basically with cans. And the statement that you have there in the handbook about fundraising is very clear, and I commend you on that. Thank you. Mr. Pierce?
Quick question, I just remembered it. Are we properly inflating our footballs, first of all? Are we doing that?
My goodness, the amount of hours that has taken. Yes, we are. We don't want any distraction.
Okay, great. And a follow-up, the field is beyond its useful life. What are the plans for the athletic department to, Ms. Johnson?
It's in the
help-
capital budget
Oh, great,
for replacement this July 1,
wonderful. And last,
if it passes town meeting.
okay,
It
thank
will.
you. Last but not least, the crew is a club, it's not an athletic.
Correct.
What are the plans or thoughts about maybe making it, because a lot of students are no?
Who wants it?
Who wants it? I'm curious. I don't know why it's just a club.
So I actually met with the advisor, I guess, of the crew team when I first came here to kind of understand their role. And the way that they function right now, they prefer to run as a club. They're not
Oh.
under the guise of the MIAA. They don't have to adhere to all the MIAA policies. It would be challenging for them to have a co-op, which is Arlington and Belmont combined with the numbers that they have. So essentially, they can't run the way that they're running now as a sanctioned team.
Oh, okay.
So when I met with the coach, that was the way that they wanted to continue to run.
Great, thank you.
Yeah,
Are they completely independent from the athletic program?
they are, yes.
So no liability on our part?
Nope.
Thank you.
We
You're
occasionally
welcome.
store their boats.
I don't want to know that.
We haven't.
Oh, we do want to know.
They're-
Well-
We
they-
want to support them.
That's been history.
I don't want to know. what
That is
you
history, that's not the case now.
One last question. The field, safety from going forward?
Yes, the turf field, yes, Diane, it's confirmed, you said for July 1?
Yeah, we're replacing it.
Okay, I understand that, but I mean, from what I understood, that it had reached its max, and we will be using the field before July 1, won't we?
It hadn't reached the point where it was deemed no longer safe. We had that review and shared the results because we were getting there and we needed to plan.
Fine.
But yes, it is in compliance at this time.
And let me just ask one more. Are we gonna buy the machine this time to get the full warranty? I hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.